Ravens come out on top 30-23. I heard a stat this morning. The Ravens have outrun their opponents by over 100 in every game this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's how dominant their rushing attack is.
Well,
they
also
could
their
very
rush
well
defense.
end the season with the number one rushing quarterback and the number one rushing running back on the same team.
Yeah, well, when you have
And the
Derrick
number one-
Henry and Lamar Jackson as a tandem, I mean, you're going to tend to outrush people.
And the number one rush defense.
Right.
Yeah, that's the other side of it.
That's the big one.
Yeah.
Because Washington could not run the ball.
Right. I love my pick for the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. I mean, I feel great about it.
It's them and KC and the AFC.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think that 1-2 punch of Lamar and Derrick Henry. I mean, I just can't believe the Titans gave up on him. I mean, it's crazy to me, but whatever.
Hey, the Titans had to see what they had in Will Levis in that passing offense. How's that working out for them? I can tell you, it's not working out very well.
So the Commanders gave up almost 500 yards of offense. The Ravens, a lot of people were responding on social media about the Commanders' defense, and they definitely have issues. But the other part of the equation is the Ravens are that good. They just did that to the Bengals the week before. Their offense is excellent, led by a two-time MVP in Lamar Jackson, who's on track for another one, led by Derrick Henry, who ran for 132 yards. Started slow, but eventually picked up steam, and our guy Jonathan Allen was out. I'm sure that was part of the equation.
I mean, those are two key defensive pieces. They go out. That hurts.
Yeah.
But if you look at the game, a lot of people were also saying that the refs were favoring Baltimore, and there are particular plays which you can bring up. But the Ravens had scoring drives of 93 yards, 78 yards, 94 yards. They punted once, I believe.
Yeah, after the
once.
first quarter, from the second quarter to the end of the game, the Ravens' drives were 11 for 82, touchdown. 15 plays, 83 yards, touchdown. 9 plays, 57 yards, field goal. 10 plays, 84 yards, touchdown. 10 plays, 57 yards, field goal. 8 plays, ice the game.
Yeah.
I mean, they had the ball the entire game. They had the ball 36-plus minutes. Like, it's going to be tough to win those games.
The correct team won. The correct team won. The
better team. The better team won the game.
And it's okay. We're on the come.
Commanders hung in there.
I love where we are.
Mm-hmm.
You could call it. You could say there's no
Here
such thing
comes
as
the moral victory.
I don't care. I mean, you call it whatever you want. I don't care what it is. We just continue to show we got our guy, and our defense is leaky. Probably not going to win anything this year, which no one should think that we are. Just keep rolling. It'd be nice to beat Carolina. I think we should. Looks like that Bears game is going to be tougher than I had imagined a couple weeks ago. We'll see how that plays out. But I love where we are. Love Jaden. Just not as good as the Ravens.
By the way, no thanks to Ron Rivera whatsoever, because all the top draft picks were either on other teams or just healthy scratches and not playing.
Yeah.
So that hurts when Jamin Davis is scratched, Manny Forbes is scratched. Yeah, John Dotson is playing for the Eagles.
The staff not a fan of Rivera's players.
Doesn't seem like
clearly not a fan.
Keim said they didn't even really love St. Juice at first, but they've grown to like him.
Right.
What did you think about this coaching decision? The Ravens were up 20-13. 4th and 6 at the Baltimore 44. It's not 4th and 2, but it's 4th and 6. You're at the 44. They decide to punt.
Mm-hmm.
They did pin them to the 6-yard line, but the Ravens then go 8 plays, 94 yards for a touchdown, puts them up 27-13, which at that point it felt like the game was over.
Look,
there was still a lot of time left, but it felt like that was the tipping point of the game.
I like Dan Quinn's cojones. He's shown the propensity to go for it on a lot of 4th downs. They've been successful on them, but 4th and 6, if it's 4th and 2 or 4th and 3 at that spot on the field, I think he goes for it. 4th and 6, I'm guessing the probability of converting isn't great.
3.5 minutes left. All right, I can see where you go for it there. But with 6.5 minutes left, almost 7, I think you got to punt there. Maybe get lucky. Maybe they drop a punt.
I think punt was the right call.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good call.
I don't have a strong preference either way.
If it's 4th and 1 through 3, he's going for it. 4th and 6, it's a little out of the comfort zone.
Our 3rd down percentage was mediocre. We did hit our 1 4th down play. I think we were like 30% or something on 3rd downs. It wasn't like it was some easy decision. I think we would have been dogs.
But I think most coaches,
that.
if not all, would probably punt in that scenario.
No, but the only thing is, you just know you weren't stopping them. We forced one punt and it wasn't enough.
Yeah, you're right.
We
I mean,
only
it's still
punted
the
3
third
times,
quarter.
but-
It just felt like that was, to me, it felt like that was the tipping point of the game because they punt, and then the Ravens go the 8 plays, 94 yards, and here's the progression: Henry for 2, Henry for 12, Lamar hits Andrews for 15. It was like the blink of the eye, and they were moving the ball. Lamar for 1, Henry for 4, and then there's a third down play. A lot of Commanders fans are upset. It was a pass interference on Bateman by St. Juste. And Bateman looked like he was falling down, like falling into him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, St. Juste, his hands were all over him.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think they
ticky-tack.
should probably let it go.
Ticky-tack. Yeah.
Right. And then you have Lamar to Andrews for 38.
And
Henry.
It just looked worse because Bateman slipped.
Yeah.
So it looked like St. Juste pulled him down, but he didn't.
I'm going to be a big picture guy here. They're 4-2 after 6 games, lost to one of the AFC favorites, and they're coming home to take on the Carolina Panthers, who are allowing, I think, 34-plus points per game.
Yeah, they should be
I
fine.
think overall you would take that as a Commanders fan. If somebody pitched that to you before the season started, said after 6 weeks you can be 4-2 with a home game against Carolina for a chance to go 5-2.
They should be 5-2. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And you're still
take,
atop the division.
You'll take it every single time.
Oh yeah.
And the division, somebody tweeted this morning.
Division
you can always tweet us at
stinks.
Junks
The
Radio.
Division 6.
They may have the only coach that's not on the hot seat
Cowboys are they're basically dead
in the division.
They can't stop anybody. I wouldn't be surprised if that bumbling idiot McCarthy gets fired after that dreadful performance at home, just getting embarrassed and humiliated by the Lions.
Yeah, they were awful.
Well, it sounds like it's not going to happen this week,
on
but it might
Jerry's
happen.
birthday. That was on Jerry Jones' birthday too. Nice
Now the
was.
Lions
nice
are really
bonus for
good,
him. They're very good.
but it was an embarrassment.
That was an embarrassing display. Like the Lions were doing everything they could to get like an offensive lineman to score late in the game. They were just embarrassing Dallas in their house.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised he wasn't fired after the game.
I mean,
To be honest with you.
I mean,
But
it
he's
doesn't
on the
get much
hot seat.
worse.
Daboll's going to be on the hot seat.
Yeah.
And Sirianni, even though they win,
Right, he's jawing.
nobody's
with
happy
fans.
with him in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, he could be on the outs too.
Yeah, we're in good stead.
Yeah, everything's fine.
They're in good shape.
Everything's
great.
copacetic over here.
I'm not concerned.
Not gonna pay. You think
at
this
all.
guy's panicking over a loss to the Ravens
It actually
in Baltimore?
It actually was somewhat clarifying because the only thing I questioned was I didn't know where that we were with the defense because
Right.
the last couple of weeks they had played better.
Sure.
The defense is about what I thought it was.
Right.
Against really, really good teams, they're going to be exposed, and that's fine. You're not going to change it all overnight. But Jaden was so good, by and large. Mostly, his leg, they kept him contained. You really do hurt him with the legs.
Yeah.
And I just love what he's showing every week.
This team's identity is the rushing attack, and their rushing attack was snuffed out by the top rushing defense in the league.
You also had no Brian Robinson.
Yeah, but
Not
I
sure
think,
it would've
I think
made a
even if
difference.
Brian Robinson were there and 100% healthy, I don't know if he makes that much bigger of an impact.
I don't think he makes a difference.
No. Now,
But
he'll make it if he's back against Carolina. I think that's part of the reason they saved him. He'll make an impact against them.
Yeah. They'll
But
run all
he
over
wasn't going to
Carolina.
make an impact against Baltimore.
But they were playing catch up. I mean, you can question some of the play calls or the punt or in the third quarter, whatever. But like you said, I mean, that was just the better team.
Right.
Baltimore is clearly the better team.
Yeah.
And they've got the better weapons.
Yeah, I mean, there are
Zay
different
Flowers is
stats
a
you could talk about.
beast.
Obviously, the rushing was 176 to 52. The Ravens have now outrun their opponents by over 900 yards this season already.
Mm-hmm.
They are just crushing it on the ground. But overall, 484 yards to 305. 484 yards allowed by the defense. So we talked about different scenarios on Friday on the show, but I agreed with you. I thought it was a measuring stick game, in particular for the defense, because they had played better, supposedly, against Arizona and Cleveland. Well,
The defense.
Cleveland's
is
offense is putrid.
well,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who they play. Their offense is terrible.
Yeah.
And so Washington benefited from that. Next year, Washington's going to have to draft corners.
oh, absolutely.
That is
They
the
will.
biggest need.
Another pass rusher for sure.
Pass
They'll
rushers,
address it.
The
They'll
biggest
address
need
it.
is corner.
clearly
Yeah, but all
huge
those
need.
things are hand in hand. They go hand in hand.
You mentioned the Browns, by the way. They've scored 1 touchdown in their last 29 drives.
Yeah, they're really bad.
1 touchdown, 29 drives. I don't know. I mean, clearly Kevin Stefanski's been given an edict by ownership that says you can't bench Deshaun Watson, or else he would have benched him by now.
You would think.
He's terrible. The rest of the teammates have to be just incensed that he keeps getting trotted out there every week.
But Washington's not going to lose next week. They're not going to lose to Carolina.
I wouldn't think so.
I think we should win for sure.
So if you would have said I'll take 5 out of the first 7 at the start of the year, you'd say, what? You think we're going to win 5 out of the first 7? All right. I will take that all day long.
I think the Panthers will be 5-2.
All right, one guy on the planet.
I think the Panthers will be feisty and plucky, but I think the Commanders will outclass them.
Yeah,
I think they'll like that.
They're not the walkover they
were.
I mean,
they'll score some points.
They'll score
but Dalton will give you the ball.
Right.
Dalton will give you the ball back a couple times.
They should win the game by 7 to 10 points, I would think.
But Jaden, it doesn't look like this offense is going to be stopped for.
They're not going to be
consistently over 4 quarters.
Right. I don't think so.
I don't see a team. Now we'll wait and see what kind of defenses they're going to be playing later in the year. But I don't see a team really stopping them over 60 minutes.
They got off to a slow start. And certainly not being able to run the ball, put them in some difficult positions.
But that'll be
a great job containing Jaden.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's obviously clearly the best run defense you're going to face.
Oh, yeah.
You should be able to run on Carolina. You should be able to be balanced. So you take 5 out of the first 7. I mean,
the next month for the Commanders, 3 of 4 at home. Panthers, Bears back-to-back. At the Giants is your only road trip. Home to the anemic Steelers. I kind of like the next month, the way it's setting up.
Steelers defense is good.
The Steelers know how to win games.
Yep. Okay, that's fine. You know what? I'll take Jaden Daniels head-to-head versus Justin Fields.
Everybody would.
All day long.
Everybody would.
I'll take that matchup all
I don't think that's as easy as the other games.
But I thought you said wins aren't about the quarterback. You always say no quarterback wins. But then you come down to it and you do the matchup.
I like their schedule for the next month. I like the way it's setting up.
So do I. It doesn't mean they're going to win them all, but I like it. I like our chances. You never really liked our chances this week.
No.
And so it is what it is. That's why I'm not getting too worked up. I think I clapped like a seal one time during the game.
They have to
one time.
They may have to win the division this year to get in the playoffs because the NFC North, all those teams are looking really good.
Well, the NFC East looks kind of winnable.
They'll start beating up on each other.
Looks pretty winnable.
I agree with you there.
I mean, the NFC North, only 2 of the teams have even played a division game. So they'll start beating up on each other.
Right.